When I call you, you will answer.
Well, praise the Lord and welcome to our usual weekly broadcast, Lifetime Impact. And I believe you've been blessed and God has tremendously catapulted you from where you were and to where you should be. I am your host, Bishop Dr. Frederick Abubakar Siliki Koroma. You know, in life, when I was in primary school, we learned this adage that some people are born great. Some have greatness conferred on them. Well, some people, they fought for greatness. Well, among these heroes was David. David fought. David was a poor shepherd boy. He was marginalized by his family. He was looked upon as an obscure personality in the family. But guess what happened? He fought the lion, he fought the bear, and God looked at David and saw in him a man after his own heart. So when King Samuel or the Judge Samuel went to look for a candidate who should be God's choice for the kingship in Israel, God bypassed Eliab, he bypassed Abinadab and all of David's siblings, and he located David. You are the David in your family. You are the Davida in your family. And I believe if you are not born great, if nobody has conferred greatness in you, you are going to fight for greatness. Where I am today is because I am a fighter. I fought my way from a poor family background to be where I am today. So with these few words as an open courtesy, I want to introduce you to my guest for today. Sir, please tell us your name and maybe a brief background of your family.
Thank you very much, Bishop. We are proud of you as a nation and as a Christian family. We know the role you've played in this country, and thank you for giving me the opportunity to be here today on this great Lifetime Impact program. I've heard a lot about your program and I've seen many people, so I'm really grateful for the opportunity. I am Rashid Umuya. I'm a lawyer in Sierra Leone, a human rights lawyer, and I'm the head of Christian Lawyer Center, Legal Link, otherwise known as Legal Link, and I'm also a practicing barrister and a lecturer as well at the University of Sierra Leone. In sum, that is my package. But to let me explain further, I came from a very humble background, and my father, a Muslim, married to 2 wives, and they had 14 children. Wow! All right, so 4 dead and 10 alive.
That's a whole football team.
It's a whole football team. Yes, so it's that kind of background I'm coming from. You know, kind of disorientated, you know, but a hard-working family. You know, my father is a petty trader, my mother also a petty trader, and my stepmother also a petty trader. So we are doing trading when we were coming up. Okay. From school, we had to go to the market to sell, and my mother, I could remember at some point, sold firewood, you know, and they like coal, charcoal. And so that is the background Rashid is coming from. In case you don't know, that's exactly what it is, and God has been faithful.
So from what you explained, Rashid,
yes,
it appears as if you came from a very challenging background.
Exactly.
Unlike many who were born with silver spoons, yes, in their mouth.
Yes.
You know, I could identify myself with you.
Yes.
Well, can you tell us some of the constraints?
Yes, yes. So I remember, Bishop, you know, we used to fight, you know, over food. So we eat in a bowl.
With spoons?
You know, with our hands. So I remember me and my brothers and my sisters, for the last portion of the rice, that is where the fighting always happen. So who should have that last portion?
Wow.
Oh my God. By the time slap somewhere, and we're not throwing all the bowl and the rice on the floor.
Oh my God.
So that is the place we coming from. So it was a tight-knit family, but a lot of, you know, struggles, because the father had many of these children, and I'm a petty trader.
Okay.
You know, so how do you eke out a living and make ends meet for over 14 children? So it was really a tough one. So every day from school we had to go and sell to make sure at least there is food. And our mothers were very hardworking, because they will be selling and they are pregnant. There is one on the back. Oh my goodness. And then there is a tray on their head. And we're following them to go, you know, to the market. So, and then they come back in the night towards 6, 7, 8 to cook again. Oh my goodness. You know, and so we eat almost all the time at 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, you know, because that's the time we are all coming home from. And then our father likes trading. So even in the night, when we come from selling in the evening, in the night we also he has a box that he puts in a junction. So we do it by turn. My brother will be there again in the night to sell, you know, till maybe 11. So we'll be studying actually whilst we are selling in that junction.
Was that in Cambia?
No, it's here. It's in Freetown.
Oh, okay, Freetown.
Okay, so maybe my mother and my father hail from Cambia.
Okay.
The northern part of Sierra Leone.
Okay.
They are Limbas by tribe, but we are giving back to in Freetown.
Okay, Freetown.
So this I'm telling you now, when they came to Freetown and settled in Freetown. So this is what exactly was happening at the Wellington part of Freetown. So we had to come in the night to sell as well. And it's where we sell in the night in the junction, that's where we usually study. All right. So, and surprisingly, Bishop, when we go to exams, we excel. I used to come first, second all the time, you know, in my class with that kind of constraint. Because to us, we saw it at the time that this should challenge us to be a fresh stimulus, to be better. So because we know the fees having been paid in that kind of condition, you don't want you want to fail to get your parent to go back to the bush, cut firewood, do charcoal to get again that fee. So it was like an impetus that drives us to success.
Yes. Wow, so poverty was like a motivational factor.
Yes. So we turn it around to motivational. So you must not fail.
You must not fail.
Yes.
And here you are today.
Yeah,
wow, from that very humble background.
Yes.
So can I say were you the type of bad boys going on?
Yes. No, I saw the question and I said this one, I'm going to confess it. Because I was a Muslim, you know, then. So, yes, a lot of bad things we did, you know. We were wild in school. We had many girlfriends, you know, of course. And then clubs, you know, we don't consider these things wrong at the time.
Yeah, of course, definitely.
We thought it was the order of the day and something we should have cherished. So, yeah, even though I was a very focused guy in school, but that also attracted many women my way. You know?
Yeah, definitely.
These girls, you know, they want to now, you know, help them out. So you are the king boys in the class. Yes, until I had to get my school in God, through one of my friends. Today he's not a lawyer also. God used him to preach to me. And then help me through my salvation journey.
We'll come into that.
Yes.
So, which one is primary?
Yes, so primary school, it's called Sammy C's primary school. So it's Sammy Conte, but it says Sammy C's primary school. It's at Wellington. Around the Apple School end. That was where I got my primary school. Very strict head teacher. Wow. You know, today he's open even in secondary school and he's doing well in that area. Wow. So I got my primary school from that education from that school. Later on, I moved to Brown Commercial, Delhi. It's also a great school in the East. They are doing very well. It's a private school as well.
At Wellington?
At Wellington, yes. Delhi is there, and then you have Brown Commercial Secondary School. Wow. But then as I was promoted from 3, my father had to really went broke.
He went broke?
You know, yes, because we were competing. We are many, about 8 of us. You know, the small ones, and we have my other brother. So the other day I was asking my father, how did you manage to give back to all of us and we are so close to each other? So he told me, he said, okay, let me tell you today. Because I was saying, father, how? Because my brother, my stepbrother, I'm 1 month older from my stepbrother.
Okay.
It's the same thing also. The other brother against 1 month older from the other. So I was saying, my father, how were you doing this? He said, okay. He said, let me tell you, my son, I'll do it 3 days. So your mother has 3 days. And your stepbrother has 3 days. So both of them can get pregnant at almost the same time.
Oh my goodness.
Yes. I said, father, 6 days complete.
Wow.
One more, just only 1 day you have to rest. So you must be a great man. So he laughed, and that's how we were. So we are really competing. So you have to now pay for this child, the other child. We are almost in the same class.
Was he an illiterate man?
Yes, my father did not go to school, so it's a Muslim kind of education. This clerical education, Arabic thing, but it's not a formal education. My mother also never went to school.
Same with me.
Yes.
Wow.
So that is the unique thing. And then they were so desirous to help us. You know, to go to cut firewood. My mother had to sell her earrings and then bracelets at one point to pay my WAS fee.
Oh,
it was really tough at the time. So I dropped out of school.
Yes,
actually. Yes. So when I got from Bank Marshall, there was no money. My father said, "Oh, it's over. Because we are 6 of us now in school. So pay near. So I had to drop out of school for 2 years.
2 years.
Yes. Then my uncle in town learned about it. To my sister, my mother's uncle. Okay. All right, my mother's brother, my uncle. Okay. So he heard about this situation and in town, and he was working at the treasury, so he was, you know, capable of really helping out. So he came and he was very, sad with my father. I said, why? This boy is doing well. Why did you tell me? So my father had to now say, well, it was shameful for him to just, you know, see these things, and he had to bring me to town. That's how I came to town now and live around St. John area. Yes, so I'm sure that movement helped out a lot, because I was way down there at Wellington, the Apple School end, so far away from the heart of the city. So it helped me to link up with people, open my eyes to many churches and programs, you know, and then friends who have, you know, that passion to excel. So that coming to me was the beginning of the whole journey of success. So he brought me, and then, but it was like middle of the term, so I had to go to, that's find the school for me to just end the term. So they found for me BJMS, Bishop Johnson. Okay. I called him Abu Job Mokisi. So, but there was no school at the time. So I said, "Oh, this is on my level." He said, "But you have to go there and start." So I went again and repeated from 2. Wow. Just to catch up. So I went there.
You lost about 3 years.
Yes, almost 3 years.
Okay.
But then this is the miracle that God did. So I grudgingly accepted. So I went to the school. But I knew this is not my school I want. I knew he would tell me, no, this is not. But I had to sit there. And then we heard about the Becker. So I started the Becker exams. The first Becker in the country.
Okay.
So once I was going to Form 3, we heard about this new exams coming in called Becker. And then if you pass the Becker, they say you go to any school of your choice.
Okay.
Oh, I had jumped at the opportunity. Bishop, I went to the registrar. I said, I want to go to grammar school. Wow. I'm going to pass the Becker. They said, what? Can you have the mark? Our students are going to grammar school. I said, me, I'll have the mark. Put my name down. Wow. So I was going to put my name. I said, put my name down, grammar school. Because I don't want to be here. So I got to Form 3. I came first actually. Then I sat to the Becker. And I was at Wellington selling when the phone rang. You know that you made it to grammar school. You are the only person that passed in BJ to grammar school. Wow! So I jumped, and my father heard the news, you know, on the radio, and it was celebrated. So I had to now make it for grammar school. That's how I came to stay in town.
So I'm not your name.
Yes. It was the first Becker.
Oh, the first Becker.
Very big, yes.
And you excelled.
Did very well.
Wow.
I got to my school grade that they were looking for.
Wow.
I was the only student in BJ that moved, so I moved to grammar school. That's where I did my senior secondary school.
At grammar school?
Yes.
I want also to be at grammar school.
Yeah, it's a very...
From what you explained to us, Lord Rashid, it looks as if you're somebody who is well focused, consistent.
Yes.
What do you say to viewers and listeners about the need not to give up in life easily, because there's an adage that says quitters never win, and winners never quit. Yes. So what can you say to our listeners?
Yes, so this is the story. So behind the glory, there's a story. And I'm happy today you gave me the opportunity to tell this story, because many people are seeing today that what is happening this guy, but they don't know the story. There's a story. Okay. And the story is, it has been challenging, but God's grace and hard work has made a difference. Wow. So I tell my students all the time that and I'm coming to the God factor. So you will see clearly how God has helped this small boy to where I am today. And there is also the hard work factor. Okay. So, and because God can help us on things we cannot help ourselves. That is what people should understand. The things that you can do, God will not do it for you, because He has given you power to do them. So for example, as a student, you have to study. No matter how you pray, the study part of it must not be compromised. Wow. So that is exactly what it is. So the things I'm supposed to do, I did them. So I was very studious, I remained focused. You know, I think about my parents, that these people are poor, they have struggled to pay the fees. I cannot fail and cause them back to go to bush, firewood and pay. So that was haunting me all the time. So when I'm studying, I put my foot on water, not to sleep. I make sure even if I have gari to eat, I will just be happy and go to my books. So and my uncle was telling me the other day that for you because he had many children that he was rearing at the house, and he said, for you, I don't ask you about passing, because I know you pass, because I've seen the way they are all watching film. But you will take your book and go upstairs and study. Wow. So he said, for you, I'm not going to ask whether you pass. I'm going to ask you how well you pass. Wow. So my uncle was very, very helpful. So he is dead now, but he's so rest in peace.
Yes.
He was very helpful.
In other words, now you are telling those young people out there,
yes, that
you don't need to give up in life.
Yes, Bishop, you cannot. So in fact, poverty or coming from a poor background is not an excuse.
Not an excuse.
In fact, I have argued in many forums that it should be a motivation for fresh stimulus.
Wow.
So you can turn that bad energy, bad beginning, to positive energy that can catapult you to higher heights.
That's awesome. Yes. So young man, young woman down there, I don't know where you're coming from. I don't know what your status is. Yes. I don't know the constraints you are facing in life. But here is an icon, a pace setter, who is now telling you that your condition is not your conclusion.
Yes.
He's not telling you that you must not give up in life, no matter the adversity.
Yes. Because
adversity can be a stimulus.
Yes.
For you to be accelerated to your next level. Yes. Thank you very much, Rashid. Yes. So do you believe that every man is born to be a winner in life?
Let me answer it in this way. I'm also a realist. You know, God has a destiny for every man.
Okay.
But then we have a responsibility to work with him to accomplish that destiny.
Okay.
And that is the difference why people are going astray and why people are succeeding. So there is a God factor that you cannot play with, because he's the one that have created us and have destined us. So you working and partnering with him makes the whole project a reality and an easy walkover. Okay. So many times, if we don't partner with him and move away, it becomes very difficult. All right. So we ourselves, because God cannot force anyone. All right. We have a free will, and he has told us everything in his word. Everything is there. People can preach to us. We can hear the truth, but he cannot compel us. You know. So it's for us to go close to him. He says, when you come close to me, I'll come close to you.
So you discover your purpose.
Yes, you have to discover that purpose. And it's really in God's word, and you connecting with God. That is where the value of your purpose begins to shine. Because people can be doing something, but the value of it may not be seen until you connect. There's grace, that's enabling grace. So for example, I've come to tell you a little about Legal Link and all of these things. And why are we so much outshining other organizations that we met? We're just 3 years old. I'm sure we are in God's plan and God's agenda at the time.
We'll come to that. Rashid, this is very interesting.
Yes.
So you took your, is it, how do you call it? The WAS?
The WAS, yes. In grammar school, yes.
Grammar school?
Yes.
And from there you went to F.A.S College?
Yeah, so in grammar school, I made a purpose. This school, this is one of my best schools, and I'm going to make sure I leave a name, a mark here. Okay. So I became a prefect. In my class, yes, I was just beating them first.
What was it? What was the principal by then?
Lashite, the one of the best.
Lashite.
Lashite.
Okay, I was
very powerful.
It's in Spain.
Yeah, okay.
Was principal then after 1 or 2 years.
Okay.
Lashite took over.
Wow.
I was grammar school for about 1 year, 1 time.
Yes, I met Lashite.
Lashite.
Yes. So but that's where I got my salvation too. So
yes. So you proposed in your mind.
Yes.
That you make a mark.
Yes.
So you took the WASC and you were successful.
Yes.
You went to F.A.S. College. You went to F.A.S College.
Yes. So when I eventually was preparing for the WASC, I remember this gentleman was pushing me a lot about salvation, Christianity. I used to deal with him in class. I was a class rep. So when he preaches in class, I write his name, as noise causes, and he's been flogged. But the next day, the gentleman would just wrap bread for me, put in my bag, right there, Jesus loves you. Come with textbook, notes. Imagine. So I need these things. So when I get home, I'm hungry, I want to eat, I open my bag, there is something there. I will be salting it, but I have to eat, and I will eat. I'm sure he was sowing a seed.
And he was a believer.
He was a believer. He was a Christian.
Okay.
You know, he's always a lawyer. I had to fight him to say you are going to succeed, because when he went to college, he was misbehaving. I said, God used to save me. You will not fail. So they are thank God for his life. He's a lawyer. So
that's how you have your encounter.
Yes. So he paved the way, and the school also, because it's a Christian school. We always sing Christian songs, pray Christian prayers. So it's overcome by a Muslim. My Muslim tendencies. So my school also helped me greatly, because the environment was all about Christianity, and I started singing Christian songs, hymns, praying Christian prayers. So I started learning the Bible, even in that school. That's why I'm grateful and proud of that school. So I started the WAS. God showed up again, but before the WAS, I got my experience. You know, the Abonke came to town. You know, and then we heard about the Abonke. I was a Muslim. Everybody was flying to the stadium. I was saying, what is happening around the country? And they said, Albonke, me too, I just went. And I'm sure the Holy Spirit was the one who took me, because nobody invited me. I was at 3 when he made the altar call after some nice praise and worship. And I lifted my hands up, I started crying, you know, singing, and I fell down on that stairs, you know, because I had this call saying, if you cannot come to the stage, it doesn't matter. Wherever you are, lift your hands up.
Wow.
And so I knelt down there, and I lifted my hands up, and I made the sinner's prayer. And I'm sure that was the beginning of my experience.
Wow.
I got saved, so I went, and Jesus Christ did the first miracle that Jesus Christ did for me was I had the best, you know, third result. So I came third in the WAS in the country.
In your country?
The best number 3 results.
Wow.
The best number 3 results, I got it.
And
I had all the combinations to go to college to read my course. So I went to my father. Now my father.
Yes,
so I went to my father. My father was angry with me being a Christian. He has heard about the news. So I went there. He said he disowned me. He doesn't want me to be his son anymore.
Yes.
But then the news went again on radio and TV. The first WAS student in my school came first, second, and third.
Wow.
And my name was mentioned. So I was coming night was like, oh my God, like a welcoming. You know, everybody, was a party in the house.
So
the only show about now Muslim is no longer an issue.
Yes.
So I told my father proudly, I said, well, the Jesus you want to fight me for is who has given me victory.
Oh my goodness.
So that pacified everything, and that's where the journey began.
Oh, thank God for the life of Lawyer Rashid Numbuya, Executive Director, Christian Lawyers Center,
yes.
Legal Link.
Yes.
He is my special guest here today, and he's unfolding to us some things about his life, his personal life, that we don't know about,
yes.
and also to inspire us that what God has done in his life, he can do it through us as well. Yes. So, what did you read at Fobe College?
Yes, Fobe College, my first degree was arts, history and political science. So yes, 4 years, yes. I finished that one with a very good result.
Okay.
Then I moved again and applied for law.
Okay, so you went to do law after you finished your first degree?
Yes, I went again and did law after 4 years.
Why law? Why not?
I just, you know, this was a passion. In fact, it was law I should have read. But at the time, because I look at my constraints and all of that, so, and the person was helping me, one strange person again, because my father and my mother, I told you, they don't have money. If they can't pay for my secondary fees, so I applied with faith, and I went. Somebody, strangely, a cousin who never knew me. In fact, she said it afterwards that she's a born-again Christian in the US. That she had a dream, and she was directed to pay my fees.
Wow!
She said it, yes.
That is divine intervention.
Yes, she sent my fees. So because I didn't want to bother her, you know, on law was very expensive, so I managed with the art first. So I went to art and finished. Then, but as I was even enrolling after my first payment, the second year I had scholarship. So I had scholarship throughout my first degree. Again, my second degree scholarship as well. You know, so I read law. And law, why I wanted to read law was because I had a passion to fight for, you know, justice in our country. That was a passion from day one.
Wow.
And you can see that throughout I was head boy, I was prefect. So I knew if I could get knowledge in the law, you know, it might help my leadership skills going forward. Yeah, so that's why I
that's interesting. That's a very interesting aspect of your life. So, if I may ask, so after you finish college now, so what did you do next?
Yeah, so I had to do my pupillage, come to law school, finish law school 1 year, and then do some practical for 2 years. So I served under Jenkins Johnston. One of the best lawyers in the country is dead now. So rest in peace. He trained me actually.
Is that so?
So I got a lot of skills from him.
Okay.
He is the only lawyer, Bishop, I'm saying this with humility, the only lawyer who can write the president. The only lawyer.
Who can write?
Write the president if there's anything going on in the country. This is the only lawyer who can take pen and write the president and tell him to do X, Y, Z. He is known for that. Oh. You cannot see lawyers do that.
Okay, is it something that...
you cannot, you have to be very careful. Oh. If you dare to do that and make any error, you can be jailed.
Okay.
So people are saying maybe I got that inspiration from him because I write the president all the time. I write the president all the time.
Yes, it must
yeah, so I think I got something from him. Oh. So that's the kind of person, if there's an injustice in the land, you will see him rise up and say, you know what, let me write the president. This thing must stop. See, so I got that from him, and it's an inspiration I'm sure I'm proud of today, that I cannot sit down, everybody's afraid of me, say, why are you? But something just pulls me to say, write him.
Okay.
And I do so in good faith.
Okay.
And I've never been at any situation where somebody has said, oh, this is no. He writes me back and say, yes, I've heard about and seen about letter, and we are pleased to what you've said, and we will do X, Y, Z. So when it's motivation from the Spirit and from God,
yeah,
it's easy. No matter what it is, you are not afraid.
So Lawyer Jenkins Johnson Senior has a son who's also a lawyer.
Yes. Leon.
He's a bossman also.
Yes, the bossman.
Oh, right.
We were all together in chambers.
Okay, all right.
After 2 years, I got a job at the UBA Bank.
Okay.
And served there for 1 year. Then I had this opportunity to go and do my first masters.
Your masters, where?
Yes, at South Africa, Pretoria. Pretoria, South Africa. Again, miracle again, how God did it. Scholarship as well. So they wanted 30 lawyers in Africa. Best lawyers.
Okay.
So for Sierra Leone that year, I applied. Main lawyers, over 1,000 applications. They only want 30. 30. And I was choosing that year from Sierra Leone.
I know. I think you'll be working under the favor of God.
Oh, yes, favor. And it was a full package because I had to travel to 5 countries to do my research. I went to Botswana. I went to Mauritius. I went to France. I went to Italy, Venice, and came back to Pretoria. So that exposed me, and gave me international experience on human rights issues. And I was trained in many countries. I went to Botswana to look at how children are dying of HIV/AIDS and how to make a recommendation to the government to dealing with the issue. So I'm not just a human rights lawyer, I'm a trained human rights lawyer.
Wow.
I'm passionate one too.
That is interesting.
Yes.
You have been favored.
Yes.
I always define favor as an aspect where God adds flavor to your labor.
Yes.
To make your neighbor more.
Hey, I like that.
God adds flavor to your labor, yes, to make your neighbor more about your neighbors.
Oh my God.
that's what I got from, was an inspiration that God gave to me.
Yes, awesome.
That you are a candidate of favor.
Yes.
So when you are favored by God, so you finish at
Pretoria.
So what?
So as I was coming back, so let me explain. This one is unique.
Okay.
So when I left for Pretoria, I had applied for the Commonwealth Scholarship to do a master's in UK, but it was late. So Pretoria came before, so I had to move to Pretoria.
Okay.
So I was doing that master's. About 6 months in, the Commonwealth UK sent to our government that they want me, and they approved my scholarship. Guess what happened?
What happened?
Our government did not communicate to me, Bishop. Nobody spoke. They hid everything from me. So I was there doing my masters. Then, and this is why I'm saying the God factor is very key, Bishop.
Very.
So I was there. I was also worshiping, going to church in Pretoria. The pastor almost cried when I was returning because I was helping with the youth, the program. So all my friends were not come to church. Me, I was always there. It was one service I was just worshiping. Then the Holy Spirit, I'm sure it's the Holy Spirit because an inspiration I was provoking. Say, why can't you check and send a mail to the Commonwealth concerning your scholarship? The voice was very strong. I never had any email of them. So I moved to the internet, starts googling to get any contact from the UK office in England. So I got to one media person. So I sent it just 2-line email. Please, I'm Rashid Dumbuya from Sierra Leone. I've applied for the Commonwealth Scholarship. I strongly believe I should get the scholarship. So I don't know what is happening. In case you are not the right person, please forward this mail to the right authorities to get back to me. Let me know what is happening. That was the mail sent. After 2 nights, I came back to check. That mail traveled, Bishop. They told me later. It traveled over 10 people and eventually landed to the right secretariat.
Wow.
And they call a meeting and say, what is happening? This is our best candidate we have sent for over 3 months. He may doesn't even know that we have elected him long ago. And they said, okay, now we know what's happening there. So for my case, they had to close talking to Sierra Leone, and they had to now get to me and said, Rashid, we have long ago noted you. In fact, you have 3 more days for the thing to expire. Now, accept the offer quickly, and let's send you all the documents. Don't talk to your ministry anymore. Just stay there. We'll talk to everything, send everything for you, and they can come, and then you can just secretly move away from the country. And for my sake, Bishop, you know what happened? They changed the policy. Now there are 2 ways you can apply for commercial scholarship. They have the government route, they have the private route. Because they know government route is highly political. And the private route is on merit. They changed it for this issue. Wow. I'm telling you. So I came back secretly. They sent all my things. I went to the embassy secretly, got all my things. They said, don't say anything. I didn't say anything. Until today, my first time saying it. First time. And you left for Scotland? Yes, I went. I did a powerful master's. I had a distinction, in petroleum law and policy. In what? In petroleum law and policy. Wow. Yes, the petroleum directorate industry. I can really go there back and excel because I have the knowledge on that. But I think I like my human rights passion. My human rights is driving me more than the other side. So I'm still in the human rights. So I can class you under the how should I put it? Now you're a man of vision. Yes. Right? Yes. So what will you say now to listeners and viewers? Maybe there's a young boy or young girl who thinks he or she is in a disadvantaged position. Yes. He has lacked the incentive, the thing that will pull her or him to for a higher height. Yes. What do you tell them about vision? So Bishop, it's simple. I believe, I was saying somebody the other day, God has a need. So the need is to see people who are willing to be channels. So Bishop, even you now seated there, among all your workers, the one that you can see wants to sacrifice to make things better for people. Bishop, ordinarily you will like that person. Definitely. If you are making it, you say, no, call that person for me. Because you have seen that this man is sacrificial. He doesn't even think about himself. All he wants, Bishop, how can we get this thing done? How can people be better? How can he improve this? You will go. So that's what God really desires. So I believe why all these things are happening, because I have a heart that want to see people better. People excel, people have freedom, there is justice. So God is committed to giving you the grace, the privileges, because when he gives it to you, it passes to others, it flows. So as a small boy out there, a struggling person, have a vision and a heart to serve others. That is where your beauty lies. If God sees that you have a clean heart to do this without any consideration for yourself, you are his man, and he's going to secure your destiny. So that's how I see it. So should I put it this way, that the vision helps you to envisage the future in the present? Yes. It creates that kind of picture. Yes. Yes. So in fact, while I was in Dundee, I had this inspiration. So I was thinking, I'm not a lawyer. I have 2 masters. Okay. But I'm a Christian too. So I was having this kind of bubbling, and I have this inspiration, and the question was very clear. What can you do, now that you're a lawyer and you're a Christian, to support the church legally in Sierra Leone? Is there not a gap? That was the question. Is there not a gap? So, but when I came back, what happens now? I became distracted. When I came back, young man wants money. So I came back, there were so many jobs flying all around. They took me to the ACC as prosecutor, worked there for 2 years, paid me big money. Then as I was excelling there on human rights issues, the government also picked me up and made me a commissioner for human rights. The youngest in Sierra Leone. I was there again, having big cars, moving around, enjoying. I had forgotten about that glorious vision and inspiration I had in 2014. In fact, what happened, Bishop, that the day I had this inspiration, I posted it on Facebook. So if you go on Facebook now, 2014, you will see that I declare that God has given me a vision called Christian Lawyer Center. It's there. 2014, when I was in Dundee. I posted it on Facebook. When I came back, I was distracted, having big jobs. And then in the middle of that, something happened. Government change, and boom, they no longer wanted us anymore. They want new people. So I came back for 1 month to 2 months in the house, no job. So in that situation, I'm sure the Holy Spirit came back live, remembering me of, is this not the time to launch Christian Lawyer Center legally. So that's how, and to let you know that it was God ordained program. By the time I declared it, over 50 lawyers, Christian lawyers, partnered with me that this vision is good. And then we got an office almost free of charge. My office, I got the office, it's well decorated. There was a lawyer who was using all these things there, and then just left, you know. And then I came there. All these shares are given to me. It's not mine. Wow. So I met a well decorated office. Wow. And the woman that had the house had to welcome me. Say, no, this is your place. Take it. And gave me almost free, because that was small money she was asking me to pay. Wow. Yeah. So and then we registered it. By the time the support came, so it was all working out. Our first program, everybody embraced the vision, you know. And today, as I speak to you, the service has just 3 years. We have trained over 2,000 pastors on legal compliance issues. The church is now enjoying another phase.
I discovered that during the time of the COVID.
Yes. Oh, Bishop.
We are so.
Yes.
Bishop. Like
yes.
Going from church and different.
Yes.
Tell us about it.
Yeah, Bishop. So in fact, God help us to give us this idea to monitor the church to see how they are complying, and get a video evidence and a report evidence
with the COVID
regulations.
Yes.
So when eventually we had another lockdown for 4 months, you know, we had to make a case, because everybody was thinking this thing was really biting, and the churches and mosques were creating the problem. So we had to engage the president, and we engaged NACOVAC, that we have the evidence. The church are very compliant.
Wow.
That the risk is non-existent. If I look at the video, and in fact, when the guy watched the video, the NACOVAC director, he was so pleased. And even Jamiu, they were all pleased. Wow, this is a good evidence that they can now put to the president to convince him, you know, to open churches again in the country. And so we were so proud to say, oh my God, this thing we did just like that. And of course, you played a very great part in that. You were the only bishop who believed in us and came and do an interview. You know, your face is there. And when they played it, they saw you calling on people to respect the guidelines, to do things responsibly. Wow. To pray. It was so good. All the Christian community are so proud of you, Bishop, when they saw your face. Wow. It means you understood the time, you knew that this was important, and you placed yourself, you gave us money. That was so unique. And you are the only bishop, I can say this openly, that went to our office and prayed with us. Wow. You know, believing in us. So we are so proud to partner with you. We know God has linked us for a reason. And trust me, this program that we are doing now is God ordained. Because we never thought we can have this thing today, and here we are having. Wow. And so I'm proud to say that we will continue to partner with you and your ministry. We believe in you. You've been the first particular bishop in our country. We know you are the father in the land, and there's so much you can do for the unity of the body. So Christian Lawyer Center have been doing very well. We have helped churches. We have, in fact, the other day we had a report where we showed 300 pastors how we help them legally. Now we have dealt with over 500 cases concerning pastors. 300 we had victories. Wow. Our pastors are going through a lot, Bishop. They are doing a lot of things that are legally not compliant. Okay. And the law is catching up on them. But this pain today is being relieved, because now you can call on legally, yes, and you can come there to help them. And then with the training we are doing, we are now minimizing their mistakes. So we train them on how to register a church. We train them on labor issues, staffing matters. We train them on tax compliance. We train them NACIT, obligation. We train them also on buying of properties, estates, land. Many of them had problems with that, because they just go and buy land as if they are buying a phone over a counter. Wow. There's a process to buy land, all right, and even lease, you know, or rent property. Okay. So now they all understand these issues, and so it's becoming a very healthy church, you know, in Sierra Leone. Wow. Less of conflict this year alone. In fact, we have never had one conflict of any pastor this year. So we are in May, and we are surprised to say no complaint on any pastor. This is awesome. We thank God. In fact, the one that God gave you this strategy. Yes. Because God knew exactly. Yes. That at such a time as this, just as they told Esther, you came to the kingdom for such a time as this. So you God allow you to go, give you the inspiration. You came back. You were so attracted to all the pomp and fashion of life. And Bishop, the unity about us, we cut across all the pastors, and everybody has bought this vision. You know, we have Jehovah's Witnesses, we have the Pentecostal evangelicals, we have, you know, the Methodists. They are also enthused. So it's like the body of Christ, you know, supported legally. because they all have been going through one challenge or the other, you know, and so they so much come to our office almost every day to seek advice, and it's free for our pastors. It's free.
Free.
There's nothing they are paying for.
And pastors like free stuff for many pastors. That's the challenge. I'm having pastors.
I know.
They like free stuff so much. And if you go to meetings, you discover that you want to raise up. Oh my God! Pastors are the ones who will try to rationalize. Yes. I know it. Yes. Definitely, but we'll overcome it.
Yes, sir.
By the special grace of God.
Yes, sir.
So what are the objectives of Christianity?
Yeah. So basically, we exist to defend the rights of Christian communities, religious communities in Sierra Leone, and then of course vulnerable groups. So on the issue of the vulnerable groups, oh my God, we have also been excellent in that. For example, now I can tell you that we have supported over 1,500 vulnerable groups.
Okay.
And then we have won over 800 cases. I speak to, yes, and many of them in settlements. The other day we even had a victory of over 500 million paid to some workers that we are sacked by one big company in the country.
Wow. Because
they were casual workers. Yeah, look at the case they made. They were casual workers. So we have to say, okay, even casual workers, they have an entitlement that they must enjoy as workers. So we brought the case in the court. By the time we were in court, we knew we were going to win in the court. He had to ask for a settlement, and we came back and we settled 500 million. Wow. Bishop, you know, imagine some small guys, when we counted the money, some had 50 million, some had 40. The first time in their life,
wow,
people were crying literally in the office. Let me get this money. Let me get this money. So yes, put them in Ghana must go bags, you know, tie them, and then we want them. Go and use this money wisely, because it's money that, you know, you paid for. Your family should enjoy it. Have a business. Don't go and waste it. You see how much we fought for 1 whole year. We were fighting this company, and today God has given us the victory. So it was really good. The other day, again, a woman we secured for her millions of loans. That one, the guy came and just you know, used that and then run away to the US, and then treat her. So when he came back, we had to filing papers to get him to pay all the maintenance costs and all what she went through, and she received millions. So God has been really faithful. And black card situation, you know, I'm telling you,
was in court.
Yes.
So you have to defend black.
Yeah. So because our mandate is about vulnerable groups. So even the mental challenged, the aged, the disabled, the handicapped, you know, abuse women, abuse children, we are the ones who come in to defend them, because we know they are vulnerable. Their rights have to be protected. And when we now seek the welfare of even the less privileged society, God is well pleased. It's a society where I want to see everybody can be treated with respect and dignity at the very least.
So let me digress a little bit. Yes. Black was he speaking coherently in court?
Yeah. So I think black situation is one that is unique, and we are trying to really do something about black Bishop. And I'm going to call on the religious community to see. Let's see what we can do, because it's not really the worst of mental people. You know, he has lucid periods where he can go into it and then come into it. So he has that opportunity, and if helped, he can really get back to normalcy. Yes, because he talks logically and he says things. Yes, he says things. Exactly. Yes. In fact, even the video, he want to be public. Say, do not come and give me money to be abusing people. If you want to give me money for God's sake. Please, I'm warning you. If you do it again, I will come and complain to the CID. And they will prosecute you. Wow. That guy is saying all of this words. So we can help him. We can
help him. Oh no, we salute you.
Yes,
it's a notable venture, which we are very proud of you.
Yes.
Being a Christian, helping the vulnerable. Yes. Let's take a break and let's hear from our station manager what people are. If you want to contribute here today, you can call us on live on 075 000-937 075-000-937, or you can send us a text message, or you send it on to our Facebook page. Good. So let's see what our people are saying now for our Facebook page.
We have a lot of messages popping up from the Facebook.
Okay.
We have Echo Johnson saying, more grace, the program is a blessing in this land and beyond.
Okay.
We have Rabbi Tamba Eric Bayo saying, powerful testimony. Joe Emmanuel Komba, thank you. Thank very much, Bishop, for this educative program.
Wow.
May God continue to bless you in Jesus' name. We have Joseph Kama saying, this program is inspirational. We have Reverend Prince Allen saying, more grace, impact, glory to God. We have Marianne Penitimity from the USA. When you are faithful in the work of the Lord, He will give you favor, and closed doors will be open to you in His time.
Wow.
Stay true to your dream. We have Lahai Ibrahim Joe Brahima saying, the program is quite electric today. Thank you, Daddy Bishop.
Wow.
Miriam Penitimity again saying, good morning, sir. Thank you for your ministry. We have Pastor Cynthia Smythe, the lawyer.
You know her?
Yes, sir.
Yeah. She was interviewed the other day. Yes. What's he saying?
Council Brother Rashid. You are an amazing person.
Yes.
Wow.
Your dedication to work, passion for what you believe in, disciplined life, trust in, and love for God is awesome.
Yes.
You are a fine example of seriousness. You have always been moving forwards and upwards.
Wow.
Keep soaring.
What a good
We
compliment.
need more of your kind.
She's a darling. Yes.
Thank you, His Grace, sir, for
Thank you.
presenting short people to the world.
That's why
Thank you, Miss Mites. Thank you. I love you.
We have Dre
We all graduated together.
saying inspiring story.
Okay.
Mohammed James Saliu Cargo say more grace.
That's from Dubai. Go ahead.
More grace, my dear hard-working uncle, Dr. Bishop F.A.S Koroma. Wish you all the best in life. May God always continue to bless you, uncle. We have Desmond Solomon, Reverend Desmond Solomon, saying, more grace, Daddy. That's all we have for this afternoon.
Wow.
Awesome.
Wow.
Awesome. Thank you.
Keep sending your texts, your comments.
Yes.
And you can call us on 075-000-937 to ask question or maybe make any comment, or send us a text message to 078-861-497, 078-861-497. I have with me today the Executive Director of Legal Link in the person of Rashid Dumbuya. Is unfolding to us some secret of his life and what he is doing today to help humanity. Well, we'll continue with the program, and don't forget, next week, let me just whet your appetite. Next week, I'll be interviewing our guest speaker. He will be the first person that I'll interview from outside the jurisdiction of Sierra Leone.
Okay.
He's in Nigeria. He's the chairman of the anti-tax something.
Yes.
He has so much to his, and he works with the PFN, blah, blah, blah. So next week, I will interview him. We'll come live. I've told him he's ready for that.
Yes.
It will be very interesting.
Good.
Bishop Dr. Emaison will be my guest for our next week session. All right. So let's go on, Rashid. So
Can I say something quickly?
please
Yes.
do.
So in my life now as a lecturer, it's also something that I should say to the public.
So
and to
you're a
Christians.
lecturer as well?
I'm a lecturer currently. I'm at the law faculty for Bay College.
Okay.
So I lecture as of close to a 1,000 students. Very big, yes.
Wow.
Yes. So now, God has also used me greatly to help them in many ways, to show them that we can read law and be of help to society and have a mentality to support our justice system. So we have with us many people who are coming now who are disabled. For the very first time, I'm telling you, Bishop, we have blind students. So through my advocacy and agitation for human rights compliance, so that the college should open up to these people, we have what we call JUICE, albino. They are all reading law.
Yeah,
we have two blind students. We call them persons living with albinism. All right. We have disabled. Many of them now are reading law. So the other day there was a problem in the class, and these two guys, they are blind, and they were struggling they don't have a recording system. So they came up with the burden that they don't have. They're constrained to hear me, and they don't have a recording system. I said, what? So I galvanized the class. How much is the recording system? Say 3 million. Let's pay. I put in my pocket 1 million. Say, good. Let's go. I moved the entire class So let's buy it for them, and let's invest into their lives, and let's make the class very welcoming for them.
Wow.
Bishop, as I was doing that, without any consideration, people were taking notes in the entire university. The news went around. Everybody saying, what kind of lecturer is this? How can you come that far to supporting students into continuing education? So an award system came. They were looking for the best lecturer in the university faculty of law. Guess who will be nominated, Bishop?
Who?
Rashid was nominated.
So
I won the best lecturers award this year at the faculty of law, and it was done by the University of Sierra Leone, by the ASA. So it's a very objective assessment and award. And so I'm grateful to God. But these are the small things you can do to make a difference. And recognizing me as a small lecturer, there are judges who are lecturing there. They are Supreme Court judges, big guys who are lecturing there. But small boy like me, God singled me out to be nominated and given the award as best lecturer for this year. So I'm grateful. But we can do small things to make a difference.
Wow. And
then see how God can take us to higher heights. And all lecturers were so pleased with me. Everybody was congratulating. No, you deserve it. You deserve it. Wow. The way you are doing, the way you are helping students, your passion, and you had Miss Might, lecturing also at the university. Your passion for work, the way you carry yourself, the way you do things, it's all awesome. So I believe it's not really me. It's the enablement within.
Yes.
Through God's grace and God's mercy that is making the difference. Paul said, it is not us, not I, but God that worketh in me.
Yes.
And that's what I believe. It's God that giveth us the power and the grace, to do all what we are doing. So the glory is God's. I just thought I should bring that as well.
No, it's very essential. I like that input. If I should repeat this question, ask this question to Beryl.
Yes.
I don't know whether I asked Cynthia the same question.
Yes.
I said people have the notion
that
lawyers are corrupt.
Yes.
How can you debunk this?
Yes. No, Bishop, it's a vocation where the temptations are high. I will not lie to you. There is a high temptation for you to compromise, to be corrupt, to see the truth and defend otherwise. So what I did as I'm a lawyer, and I thank God for this, I choose a field that minimizes that possibility happening. The field of human rights. So it's a field where I speak for less privilege. I speak to state actors to do the right thing, not to violate rights. So you can see that the tendency for me compromising or acting in a corrupt way is lesser in that field. So assuming if I was a criminal lawyer, perhaps the criminals will always come to me and I will find a way to just defend them, which is not necessarily wrong, because again, it's their right to be defended, in court, and the judge have to make the decision.
Okay.
But I am saying, given our Christian background, we should not be too much indulged into those aspects, because they might tend to, water down our testimony. So a Christian lawyer must, I would argue, stand up for cases that really will bring justice in the land, justice to people's lives.
That's right.
And make a difference, in the nation.
I wish all lawyers would have that frame of mind.
Yeah.
That we are here, to look at things objectively.
Yes.
At least to fight for justice.
Yes.
If that scenario is created, and I believe our nation would be a better place. Yes. Thank you very much. So you mentioned earlier about your siblings. You came from a football team of 11 and 3. So what are they doing currently?
Yes, Bishop. It's also a good testimony that I should share. So we came from a very strong Muslim background, father Muslim, mother Muslim, stepmother Muslim, and all of us we are Muslims. So God started with me first, and then I started preaching to my brothers, because I knew I would try to get my father and my mother, but really it's a tough thing sometimes because of the level of entrenchment they've been to this for how many years. But I know my brothers and sisters, I can handle them because I pay for them, I feed them, I give them allowances, so they are under my jurisdiction.
Okay.
So that's what I have to target them. So I say, no, this is what I can go for them. And one by one, today 7 out of the 10 are Christians. 1 is a pastor.
Wow.
And 2 are reading law as well, as I speak to you now. So God has been so faithful, and we have built a house for our parents. Now they are living in a very powerful house. I changed the entire house the other day. It was a pan body structure. came back. I said my mother and my father must now enjoy something from me. So I changed their place, and they are so happy. They are living happy lives now, and they are getting old, you know. But God is blessing them with long life to enjoy our labor. So the other child is also reading nursing. So God has blessed the family. The other one is just happily married. She gave birth to a boy, I think 2 weeks ago.
Okay.
And of course, I am happily married as well. I'm married to Joy, a beautiful lady.
Beautiful
from Living Water of Faith. She used to be the lead vocalist there. You should know her.
Okay,
yes. We had a fight with Bishop Akitayo for that lady, but God gave me the victory.
Losing one of your, your vocalists.
It's my man.
Wow.
Yes.
Well, you seem to be very caring because there's a proverb that says, nobody wants to know how much you care.
Yes.
Nobody wants to know how much you care until they, no. Nobody care to know how much you know.
Yes.
Until they know how much you care.
Yes.
So in this case, you are extending your love, your help to your parents.
No, Bishop, you should do that.
Many people will abandon their parents.
In fact, if you stop at that, as I told you, God is looking for vessels that are channels.
Yes.
So the more you make it a channel,
that's right,
the better you are used by God.
Yes.
The more He boosts you, because that's what it is important to look at. Who can stand in the gap for others?
I agree with you.
So make it a channel. So when God blesses me, I bless them.
I agree with you.
Yes, and that's how it is.
You know, let me digress a little bit. There's this lady. She does a program. I wish I could have her here. She does a program for the elderly people, the old people.
Yes.
The last time I went to do the kickoff at the stadium.
Yes.
After over 60 years of age, they were playing football. By the time we left the stadium, what was he collapsed.
Oh my God!
70 years. You know, Kogota was represented. So when we kick off, I couldn't stand it because if I was to play number 9,
I'm telling you,
if you see another Messi. Well, let's come to business now. Sure. And this year, you know, she sent me a documentary. Of the status of the people at Grafton camp.
Yes.
It was so pathetic.
Exactly.
Especially when it is raining.
Yes, Bishop.
No roof over their head.
Yes.
No bed to sleep. Nothing. And you know, I had a burden. I had to call her to see how much we could do to salvage people from this suffering.
Yes.
So I think the world is looking out for people who have that heart. You know what I mean?
Yeah, Bishop.
Yeah.
Bishop, that's why you stand out in our nation. People know you for philanthropy. We've seen all your efforts in the provinces. You go in there, only crusade, blessing people. That's why we call you Father. You know, I tell this openly that you are a father in the land, and you have a voice. Why? Because we see the passion and the way you help others. Churches, you have helped many churches, many.
Of course.
I know you don't want to say it, but we will say it because we have seen. So this is the kind of thing we want to see roll out in the body of Christ.
Yes.
It's not about competition, Bishop.
No,
complimenting each other.
It is not competition.
Yes. You see,
God the Father, God always we are not in competition. We complement one another.
Exactly.
So I believe the church. That's why I'm praying for the church to come to that position.
Yes.
Where we can see the need, not based on the tag you carry, or the denomination you carry.
Exactly.
You're not Fleming. You are not a Christian. You're a Muslim. You know, I'm going down to Grafton.
Yes.
I'm going to assess it in myself.
Grateful.
To see how much we can chip in.
Yes. Because
it is raining.
Yes.
And I told somebody, I said, could you imagine if I was born in this setting? My father was one of these men, and I was there, lying on the bare floor, and when it rains, we cry the whole of the night. So I think we need to help one another. That's what society is looking out for. Okay, now back to business.
Yes.
Now, you agree with the statement that says success always comes with a price to pay?
Yes, I absolutely agree. So, so for example, now, what are the prices? So I got married in 2017. 2017. So it's just about 4 years ago or so. It was a long wait because I had to fight for getting myself. So that's the price. One. Secondly, there was a lot of midnight. Sometimes I had to go sick. I had to feel cold. I have to stay on. People say, you know what? I want to book now. But see the reward I'm having today.
Wow.
See the accolade. So you have to pay that price. And the burning of the candle, the time of training. So Bishop, I was telling my class, I said, look, there's a difference between passion and talent. But if you have the two,
passion and what?
talent. So
Okay.
you may have the skills, the expertise,
Okay.
but you may lack the passion.
Okay.
So it will not really have the flavor. You may have the passion, but you don't have the training, the expertise. It may also not get you to that level. But where passion and expertise jam, oh my God, Bishop, that's why the world will hear you. So that's the thing. So I trained for this, human right. So when I speak, when I write, you will know it's not any kind of person writing. That's why when we write, even if you hate us, Bishop, you will come to a point and say, no, I think the guy is saying the right thing. So because there is sense in it. So expertise meets passion, then there is definitely an excellent reward.
Wow.
Yeah. So there is a price to pay. There's a price to pay.
There's a price to pay.
Yes.
Success comes with a price.
Yes. And the training aspect, that's where you pay the price. You have to be trained. You have to go for training.
No sweat, no sweat.
Exactly.
Wow.
It's a tough one, but you have to.
Tough times never last.
Yes.
Tough may last.
Yes.
So you listen to us, watching us, we want to give you this as an inspiration to you today.
Yes.
I didn't come to where I am today overnight.
Yes.
I paid the price. I remember walking from Tombo to Waterloo.
I'm telling you.
Walking Tombo. because I don't get transport. I had to walk on foot. I had to preach the gospel.
Yes.
There's a price I was paid, and God was sending me in secret.
Yes.
So that's why God has rewarded me.
Yes.
So if you are paying the price today, no cry.
Yes.
You pay the come.
Yes.
God will give you a dividend.
Exactly.
So keep on paying the price. Before I ask one of the two last question, good. Do we have something that has come in?
Yes.
Mr. Manager? Yes, sir. Come on, sir.
We have Marianne Penny Timothy saying,
From Virginia.
yes, sir. We pray for more lawyers like you in Sierra Leone, brother. Efunia Araba Johnny saying, continue to spread Jesus wherever you are. Your life is speaking and making a positive influence in the lives of others. Bless you, the glory belongs to God. Lawyer Rashid, okay.
That's Araba.
Lawyer Rashid Dumbia, keep it up. God Almighty will surely bless you for your support to people of Sierra Leone.
Wow.
People, keep it up. Don't stop. It's the will of God Almighty. Continue the good work, sir. Larisha Faulkner saying, story inspirational and blessed mentor. God continue to bless you. Efunia Araba Johnny saying, this is great. This program is one in a million.
It is.
We have John Emmanuel Komba saying, you're a very hard-working man, Lawyer Rashid Dumbea. We have Reverend Patrick Sam saying,
From USA.
this is a great eye-opener. This program has been a blessing to me.
Wow.
I don't like missing it.
Yes.
We have Leslie Shillon.
That is from Bradford.
I'll tell you.
You know him? That was lecture in Dr.
Yes.
Yeah, go ahead. What do you say?
Thank God for such a sincere son of God.
Yes.
Wow.
Indeed,
Right.
though thy beginning is small, yet your latter end shall greatly increase. May God continue to guide and guard you in all your endeavors, their counsel. You are a sincere, humbled, and wise child of purpose. God bless you, Bishop, for such a blessed program. We have Reverend Bono Mania saying, thank you, Lord, for this special grace. Brother Rashid, your counseling skills and compassion for the needy will continue to motivate many vulnerable. That's all we have.
Wow.
Thank you.
Well,
Thank you.
Thank you very much. You know, I got inspiration to begin this program.
Yes.
Whilst we were praying up in the mountain.
Good.
Yeah, we were praying, seeking the face of God.
Yes.
You know, I didn't have a concept in mind.
Yes.
But God said to me, go and get a program.
Yes.
Get people who are making impact.
The stories to be had to motivate others.
Very good. So I remember when I had my first guest, it was Bishop Dr. Achibokol.
Wow.
He came in there.
Okay.
And I didn't know how to call the program. I didn't have a name for the program. And my David was calling me, asking me, what's the name of the program? Then I said to them, Impact.
Yes.
Impact.
Yes.
That's what it came.
Good.
And I've interviewed thousands of people. Lawyers, parliamentarians, politicians, bankers, you name them.
Yes, sir.
So, and when our first award ceremony last year, Strategic Evangelistic Network, we assess everybody else, look at people who give a few, and you stood out.
Yes, Bishop.
Anonymously, you stood out. Yes. This man, he has contributed immensely to society. Yes, so that's why we give you an award, and you deserve it. And today,
and Bishop, guess what? We have about 10 awards now. 3 years. Even the government has given us an award.
10 awards.
Yes, the government has given us an award as the best civil society organization for the disabled.
Wow!
Yes.
Wow!
Faithful. Yes.
I drop my heart with you, sir. Yes. Okay, very good. Right now, Pastor, we draw the curtain down. So I know you are not a preacher. Like me. Yes, I'm a preacher.
Yes, sir.
I have a passion for evangelism.
Yes, Bishop.
It's only the COVID that gave us this little bit of restraint from going. I was supposed to have a crusade at Duazak, but it was a clash with the Muslim month of Ramadan.
Yes.
And I don't want to have any problem.
No, sure. It's wisdom.
Yes, I'm a member of the religious council.
Yes.
So I stood back, even though the banners, the handbills were all out. Radio, I said, no, let's cancel it.
Yes.
Let's cancel it. We don't have any problem because we want them to come to the crusade as well, be healed, and be delivered.
Exactly.
Okay, so what do you do to enhance the gospel?
Yes,
in your own way?
Yeah, so in my own little way, I believe this is a mission. So I see my call as a lawyer as a mission.
Okay.
So that's what I'm saying. I was saying my pastor, I said, not every lawyer can be a church lawyer.
Okay.
Not everybody. You can be a lawyer, but I bet you cannot be a church lawyer.
Okay.
So I defend my church, winners family. Okay. Of course, the church in Sierra Leone, I'm their lawyer. Free of charge, any pastor has an issue. So I see it as a mission field. My first mission is to support the church.
Okay.
Legally. That is a mission field. So in my church, I told you, I said, no pastor will be humiliated. No member will be humiliated. My goal is to fight to make sure we serve God decently and with quiet and peace. Bishop, a legal case can cause a lot of problem in the church and cause headache for the pastor and even make him not to even to read and come and preach. So my duty is to make sure there's quiet. The pastor is at peace.
Wow.
And then of course we have a vision for the vulnerable. So through my legal work and my Christian values, I now use that as a field. Many people are calling me pastor today, but I don't know if I'm a pastor. I think I'm just a Christian who is just happy to serve others, in my own little way. So it's a mission field, I see it, and through doing that, I believe God is pleased, and our society becomes better. That's the goal.
I'm just trying. I'm wondering when was the first time we met?
Yes.
Or when I came to know you.
Yes, yeah.
You still remember it?
Yeah, I think about
occasion.
Yeah, so we of course we've met several times, but having a close relationship. Yes. That's one time when you call actually. I got the number. Yes, when you saw the training and you were pleased, you called us. You gave us money, Bishop.
Exactly.
You gave us over 3 million. You said I want to invest into this. You go to your office. So I just believe in this thing, and I was so pleased. I said, oh my God, Bishop F.A.S Koroma, the father of the land. Buying into this, I said, this is God indeed.
Wow.
And from that day, you've been praying for us. You came to the office that day, you prayed with us. So it has been natural, the connection. And I'm grateful for that.
So what can you say about Flame?
No. To be honestly, the way you have placed, Christianity in this nation. And the other day I was telling, I said, you deserve an award. You know why? Because Bishop, you served this nation as the first Pentecostal, president. You left and you did not just hands off, you came back and start supporting. To send, you have been able to get awards to pastors of all. You're the first. There's nobody who have done that. I saw pastors celebrated in the same program. And all the bishops were there. So it takes a man of grace to really get all of these people together.
Wow.
And then have this kind of program. So I believe it's something you have and continue to do it, Bishop. There's a place for that. Also, I want to see all our pastors gather. And then we have that unity prayer. Maybe it could be a dinner together. Just play that leadership role. That's what we see you as common people, and we have that respect for you. Flaming has been unique. It's one which I can always come in. Say, Flaming have program. We all see it as our program. Because when you preach, you don't discriminate against churches. You don't talk anybody down. Wow. You have that grace, and that's why bishops can come to your program without any fear.
Okay.
There are few pastors who have that grace, I must confess. Yeah. Because sometimes they talk down their fellow pastors, they talk down openly, other churches, and people are just scared to go to them. Wow. But today you have that grace, and I'm sure by God's grace you will use and going to use that platform to be a blessing. Look at what God is using now to do. Lifetime Impact Program again.
I know.
Bishop sitting there and moderating, all of us coming to be. It's not happening anywhere. So we thank God for your life, and Fleming has been a blessing. And we are proud as lawyers to continue to partner with Fleming.
Thank you. What a compliment. I didn't tell you before that. When I went to Texas, I had a crusade in Texas. I don't think I've mentioned that.
Yeah.
I was right there in the meeting when I was stopped midway. And what happened? The guy came in and said, "I'm sent to present this award." It's an African American.
Wow.
The first award is from the Council of Texas.
Wow. And
they gave me the key.
Wow.
You know, I was like, okay. What than me? Blackie, would you Then after that, he said, "This is another award, sir, from the Senator of Texas."
Jeez.
I said, wow. I was going to see that. He said, "One more, sir." Another one, sir. So this is from the Mayor of Texas.
Oh my God.
Then I just breathed self-relief. He said, "But this one shocked me." I said, "Which one?" So it's from the Governor of Texas himself, Jesus. Governor Rick Perry.
Wow.
Who was one time the Minister of Energy in Trump's government.
Wow.
He said he has personally written this to you. Yeah. And this is, so when I came, I went to see the president. He said, "No, we don't do this lightly."
Yes.
They called the American ambassador to say you.
Yes.
They called the Minister of Social Welfare. They called the mayor. Yes. And we had the live broadcast.
Yes.
You know what I mean?
Yes.
So I want to thank God for His grace.
God has
mercy.
Yes,
it has extended to Australia. I got from the Minister of Finance in Australia, the Minister of Nationalization from Kenya. I've got many awards.
People you don't even know.
I don't know them.
Bishop, your impact is beyond our nation. Wow. That's the truth. Your impact is beyond our nation. And the way you've see Bishop, do you know something? You see, God has given you energy and the grace. So you see that?
I didn't know 61.
Yeah, a big man, but you see, you carry yourself with so much zeal and zest because you always have a passion. And so God is going to protect you and give you all strength to carry on the work. Because you are always in the work. You always want to see things happen. So we are proud of you, sir.
Oh, thank you very much. Thank you very much. Yes, sir. So what will be your last word if I...
Yes, so my last word is, so everyone out there, you... may have had my story, and it's don't cry. If you had my story, don't need to weep. I tell my students, when I say these things, it's not for you to cry. It's for you to now have a context. In case you are going through similar situation, use my example to say, God can do the miraculous. So throughout my academic journey, it has been scholarships.
Wow.
Nobody scholarships. See, I just told you. So that how God can take somebody. So if you now say, okay, me, I'm not going to get this thing. No. I came from a very poor family. Dysfunctional, I just told you. See, 14 of us, we fight over food. We sleep in one, our 5 of us sleep in one room. I was sleeping on the chair. There's a chair there.
On a chair.
I had that, you know, this the back seat of the taxi. That chair they have this on. Of course, the master are gone. 4 of them are gone.
Yes.
All right, that's how it is. So, but see where God has taken me, you know, and what God is making of me continuously in the nation and even beyond. I hold today, Bishop, 20 postgraduate certificates.
Wow.
Yes, 2 undergraduate degree, 2 master's degree with distinction. I've just been given an offer to read my PhD. So very soon I might leave to go for my PhD.
Wow.
So I'm just telling you how God can use a nobody and transform somebody. Because we still stay with God, not perfect, but I still continue to serve God in my own little way, you know, and have passion to serve humanity and make this world and my nation a better place. Wow. That's my desire every day when I wake up. So I was telling my wife the other day, I said, look, to rule a nation is not difficult. You just need somebody who has a heart for the people.
Yes.
God will give you the wisdom.
The wisdom.
Bishop, we don't have a budget for the year. We have right now 21 programs lined up. We are saying, we have done 5. No budget. So I said, God is the one that has resources. We just plan and have a heart to serve. God will make the way. As we did all the programs, money comes. Now we are going to do a quiz competition for law and the justice system in Sierra Leone on secondary schools. We don't even have the budget. We want our 15 million. I said, relax. It will soon happen. Next week you will see. Things will happen. So God is faithful.
You get 5 million from us.
Hey, Bishop, thank you, sir. God is good.
Yes,
hallelujah.
yes.
So we're going to see the student, primary school, secondary school students, Gamma School will be there. We have Model, we have Azaru, we have there's also this Cooking for Hard. About 7 of them also. They will be competing for a prize on the law and the justice system. You can't see they will talk law, Bishop.
So you should name one prize after us.
Bishop, yes. I think we will not count the one of the remaining prize as Bishop F.A.S Koroma's prize.
Definitely.
Yes.
Definitely.
Of course, Bishop. We will put Bishop F.A.S Koroma's prize on the law and justice system.
Wonderful. That's
and you will come there to give the award.
I will come there. When is it?
So we are partnered with AYV. So AYV will get to us. I'm sure by this week to give us the dates. So they will be doing it live. Okay. They will do it. They said it was free. Wow. So they will do it live and screen it live. And then the day for the finals, we'll call you to come up with the finals, and then you present the trophy.
Wow, what an honor!
I'll tell you that would be awesome. So God is faithful.
No, actually, it's a privilege to have you here today. Yes, but it's just all international scholarship.
Yes.
You go for because you have scholarship. Oh yeah, and so yeah, scholarship. Please don't give up. I did it 4 years.
I know.
No scholarship, but I had the tenacity.
Yes.
That I should make it.
Yes.
So when you have that tenacity, you make it.
Yes. No, just link up with these things. God will make a way. God will make a way.
Wow.
God will make a way.
Okay, as we bring it down, I want to say thank you very much to Bishop and First Lady Laga.
Yes.
Jesus Laga for allowing us to hear this program on Destiny Radio FM 94.1.
Yes.
And also to Mr. and Mrs. Pace, Universal Radio 98.9 for giving us this airtime free.
Awesome.
And also to our media team.
Yes.
You deserve. Yes. You deserve
all the best.
Yes.
Thank
you very much to our cameraman. Thank you very much to you, Brother David.
Yes.
Brother Pastor Augustine, Reverend Augustine.
Yes.
Our pastor, who happens to be our station manager.
Yes.
Patrick Soward, Mr. Desmond.
Yeah.
And who else again is here? Okay, our doctor is a medical doctor in training.
Wow.
Yeah, he comes here just to give us his own time.
Thank you.
Thank you. I appreciate all of you. God bless you.
Yes.
Till we meet next week when I will interview Bishop Dr. Emma Isom. He is interested to know that man, and he talks something. He's a chairman.
Wow.
He is doing fabulous things in Nigeria.
Wow.
So this will be the first international interview.
Wow.
First time. Yes. So don't miss next week.
Yes.
Until we meet again, I am Bishop Dr. Frederick Abu Bakar Sidiki Sulaiman Koroma.
Thank you. God bless you, sir.
Amen.